AI is a hot topic that's creeping into our consciousness. Now, while I love technology, I'm always mindful of whether or not technology is actually beneficial because sometimes we are victims of good marketing. Now, I'm particularly sensitive to technology that helps in music creation because let's face it, many seek shortcuts in lieu of real learning. Now, I have a particular interest in ChatGPT to see if it has any benefits for a budding guitar player. Well, this guitar player sought to find out. So my objective was to see if ChatGPT can help me create some interesting music with some cool guitar parts that can play in the background of this video with as minimal input from me as possible. The first suggestion was surprisingly simple, but it did provide some information about the chords it suggested and some recommendations on how to play them. But let's see if we can spice this up a bit. Simply adding a 9 in this chord progression does make it more interesting, but I was hoping for a little bit more movement in the chord progression, but I'll make this work. So I was really hoping for a cool melody here, but it gave me a riff in the lower registers of the guitar, and it included a C sharp in the scale. Now, a C sharp would be part of the minor melodic scale. I certainly could use a C sharp in a blues scale, but in this case where I wanted a very minor, dark sounding melody, that C sharp didn't work very well. So, transposing. I almost got into an argument with ChatGPT over this. I mean, it simply got it wrong most of the time. Occasionally, it would get a few notes right, and when it was close, the melody was different, and just sometimes it was flat out wrong. And after a while, it literally gave up. And then when I accused it of giving up, it actually disagreed with me. Now again, this took me in a direction that I really didn't want to go. I wanted to play on the whole ominous theme, but it just spit back the relative major of the original E minor chord progression, kind of bringing it to a happier place. Now again, it did provide some, information on the chords and some ideas on how to play them, so I just went with it. But the more I got deeper into this exercise, I realized that I had to be really descriptive in my queries, or I just got back pretty basic results. So the idea I had here was I wanted a dark rock riff that could be a good transitional part that would bring us back to the original E minor chord progression. Now, I didn't necessarily specify that in my query, but I wanted to see if ChatGPT could play on the theme that it itself created. Whew, that stinks. That's not much better. it seems to really like its C sharp in an E minor scale. Now, it added more notes, but this riff is pretty awful. Hey look, no more C sharp. But it gave me an F and an F sharp. I think an E flat would have been a better choice here. The other thing is it gave me a riff down low again. I want a solo, I want it up higher. So instead of getting into an argument with ChatGPT again, I just transposed it myself and I flew through those Fs just to make it work as best I could. Now that's actually kind of funny, and I love the logic as to why it suggested that title. See, there's the hook. Did you catch it? It retained some key elements of the chat and gave it back to me at the end. Now, if the results I got in this experiment were more impressive, I probably would have been pretty blown away by this experience. Now, many people have been, but I assume that their experience was a little bit better than mine was in this particular example. I'll say thankfully, I was less than impressed with the results that I got here. I was hoping for more, but perhaps that's the core of the story here. I'm not here to debate the merits of AI in different aspects of our lives, but in music there's a lot of temptation to take shortcuts in lieu of real learning and development, and personally I think that's a shame. Learning an instrument is a journey, and reaching personal milestones is exciting, and just watching yourself getting better and better over time is the exciting part of learning an instrument. Now, I don't claim to be a musical expert, but I know enough to know that some of ChatGPT's suggestions weren't very good, and in some cases they were outright wrong. Now, if I was a budding guitar player learning from this platform, I could pick up some pretty bad habits this way. Music has flourished for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years without AI assistance. Do we need AI in music, or are we just being sold a bill of goods? I would love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey you! Yeah, you! You made it all the way to the end. I'd love to know who you are. Perhaps you can let me know in the comments. I've got another video waiting for you right here if you want to check it out. And if you check the description, there's all sorts of ways to support the channel. Affiliate links, I'm on Patreon, and I've got merch. It's all in the description. And I hope to see you again in another video.